me do my two-step.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of The Next Shot. My name is Roger with Unlimited Photography.
And I'm Luke with Luke's Lens.
And today, guys, we're going to be discussing our photographer spotlight. So, Luke, I had a challenge for you to find a photographer that inspires you and has a style that you kind of like. So how hard was it for you to narrow it down to just one photographer?
To narrow it down, damn near impossible, but we figured it out.
Yeah, and I think our choices, that, like we discussed on our live episode, are really going to surprise people of some of the images that we've chosen to kind of view as well. So I think that's going to help our listeners and our viewers understand that you can find a photographer either in the past that may have passed away or somebody that's currently still living that definitely inspires you to do better and be more creative. Would you agree?
Definitely. And sometimes, you find somebody who's passed away, they're no longer with us, you know what I'm saying? And they become new to you, you know what I'm saying? And it's a whole new world that kind of opens your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And just looking at some of the pictures of the photographer that I chose, it makes me think that one day, Luke, believe it or not, our pictures are going to be part of history, you know?
It will be.
Again, thanks for joining us. If you have not subscribed to our channel and click the bell, just make sure you do so. And Luke, we're going to get right into the slideshow. Is that cool with you?
All right, let's do it.
All right, Luke. So this is our photographer spotlight for this episode, and I have chosen photographer Harry Callahan. Have you ever heard of this guy?
I have not until you brought him up.
So I did a search on Google, like we were discussing, is a good idea for some photographers or videographers to try to find somebody that they've never heard of, or somebody that just kind of like their work kind of speaks to you if you just look at some of the samples of what they've done in the past. Unfortunately, this gentleman, Harry, has passed away. This is his picture of him and his wife, Eleanor. His pictures kind of inspire me because he did a lot of like double exposure stuff, like motion blur, isolation. Those are some of the things that drew me to him. But just looking at the way he structured his photography, he was born in 1912, so a lot of his work was black and white. But he passed away in 1999. So with that being said, he did transition into the color process. But just to see some of his work, here's a good example of something that caught my eye that was in color. So, I mean, I'm not sure exactly the location of this, but I mean, if you're just walking past, let's say this is like it looks like a window, right? That's been busted out. Maybe at a store.
Like a store shop, yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to sell apples, maybe.
Yeah.
Or give them away. Who knows? But I mean, as a photographer or a creative person, just the red and blue contrast with the old and the new apple, that's the way I seen it anyway.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what do you think about an image like this when we're discussing somebody that started out in black and white and now they're shooting color?
Well, the first thing that grabs my eye, besides that red pop, is just that peeling paint that's been painted over probably 52 times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're still shooting in black and white mentally, I bet.
Yeah.
You're just adding that, keeping that color in there.
Yeah, and like I say, a lot of his images were taken, I believe, in Detroit. I think he grew up in Michigan, but there's got to be a lot of like grunginess and the old feel of Detroit back in I guess the 1940s.
Well,
Uh,
but back then it was booming. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, exactly. I mean, because of the car business, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So here's one that I really like. I love old vintage automobiles and stuff like that, but dude, the guy walking across the street in the middle, that's what caught my attention. Do you see him with a hat?
yeah,
So, but think about it. In today's world, you don't see a lot of this multi-exposure or motion blur or just holding the shutter open and let stuff drive by the camera.
yeah.
But that's what kind of caught my attention with this guy. I mean, he's just like he's capturing history, but he didn't really know it.
Well, it's cool because like it looks like
Yeah,
there's in that picture, it
yeah,
looks like there's like three of everything except
right.
that Irving sign. It's almost perfect. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? It's like everything moved except for that Irving sign. It's only doubled up.
yeah. And I don't know how he did the camera. It's almost like a little pan as he was opening the shutter or something. But like I
Yeah.
say, it's almost like a ghostly effect, which is what I like. You know what I'm saying? This next set of images, I mean, this is just really cool. The building where it's like a reflection type thing. I'm not sure honestly how he did it, but you can kind of tell it's a multi-exposure type image.
People struggle to make filters to look like this.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And he was doing it forever ago.
But just reading the article that someone had written about him, I mean, he discussed about his method of photography, and he used to walk the streets where he lived every morning. He would capture something that felt like it deserved to be on film, and he was, from what they said was that he was very stingy with what he developed into print. There's not a lot of photographers that print anything anymore. I mean, it's kind of like he knew that only certain images were strong enough for prints. But
Yeah.
now, I mean, this work that he did is in museums because of his family keeping the legacy alive. Just like the peel and paint, like you said, multi layers. This is stuff that you walk by all the time, thinking, "Man, this looks horrible. Somebody should scrape that off and repaint it." But as an image, I mean, this will last forever, right?
Not only that, but it's almost like, I mean, you see Photoshop actions to give you that look.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's like he was so far ahead of his time. Uh, it's bizarre how some people see things well
yeah,
before things actually become a thing.
yeah. And again, like history repeats itself, right?
Yeah,
People try to repeat this, and it's just something that sometimes you just can't duplicate an original, like this, and it just takes too much work. This image here, same thing, like a double exposure, right? I mean, it looks like the people was walking in the middle of the building, right?
yeah,
It's just so cool. The way, I mean, just look at the advertisement down there at the bottom on the truck. It's got the phone number and it's got the 7 Up on there. I mean, just stuff like that. I mean, he used to shoot his wife in certain situations, like he would just have her go stand out in the middle of a field, just her by herself.
yeah.
And he used to take pictures of her all the time and his daughter. So it doesn't matter what your subject is. It just means that hey, you got to look at images in a different light. If you don't see something like this as a double exposure, you'll never make it happen. You got to see, hey, I got the sky and I got a pole that'll look cool in the middle of it. So, but what about something like this, Luke? How hard would it be for you to recreate something like this today?
Well, I'm not gonna say it's easy, but it's not impossible. But it's almost like it's just two random pictures that he just took, like the building image.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, let me just take a picture. You know what I'm saying? He's like, ah, that's garbage. But like, then he adds that other layer on there, and it becomes a whole different masterpiece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, just from like one really good image where there's people crossing the street, it's like a picture of two buildings that probably means nothing to anybody. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It
It,
just it changes the whole dynamic of the image.
it almost looks accidental. It's
Yeah,
like, oops, did I do that? Oh wow, yeah, I meant to do that. That looks cool. A little bit further down in the article, as we finish up some of these images, it's really cool how they stated that when he passed away, that he had over 100,000 negatives and more than 10,000 prints when he passed away. So, if you got 100,000 negatives, now if he shot negative slides and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? If you count up the negatives and you're thinking he only printed 10,000 of those, in general, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? How many prints do you print out of how many images you shoot? You know what I mean? It's probably
Yeah,
less than that.
oh, heck yeah. Yeah.
So this, using the shadows and using the contrast and the low light versus like a sunburst, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know you got something to say about this one.
Almost looks like across the street is on fire, you know what I'm saying? But that
Yeah,
that
yeah,
little tree, not the real tree, but the shadow of the tree is where I get sucked into.
yeah. And if you didn't look at it close enough, you'd think it was a second tree,
Yeah.
you know? And over at the garage door with the panels busted out,
Yeah.
just kind of balances off that tree and the power lines and everything in the image. But you're right. I mean, just look at the trash on the sidewalk, the one single cup there. That's kind of what drew me into the picture. It's like the details on the building's really cool, but it's like red overall, and then you got this white cup down there,
Dark, bright white cup, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, something like this, like I say, very inspirational. I think Harry did a great job not knowing that, we were going to be discussing it today on our show, right?
100%. And this looks more, I'm guessing, more current day Detroit, you know
Yes.
what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. This is his wife, Eleanor, and his daughter. Like I told you, I mean, he would just say, "Hey, go stand over there. I'm gonna set up my camera and take a picture." Just looking at how he captured, I mean, there's nobody else around. It looks like it's very isolated.
desolate,
It,
yeah.
it's like a cold image because of the coats and the black and white and the
The,
streaks. You know what I'm saying?
the quiet emptiness, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but this picture again is one of his famous pictures of his, capturing his family.
Yeah.
This is his wife Eleanor again, and again using depth of field at that stage in film shooting. That was hard to do. You had to make sure the lighting was right, and I think he did a lot of his stuff in the dark room too. But the image on the right, I mean, when they started lining the roads, you can tell this is not how we do it nowadays. It's capturing the history. But
Yeah.
I will tell you,
It,
some of these roads, some of the roads around here will never look that good.
no, no. It's almost like you had to be a professional photographer and know everything back then, you know?
Yeah, that's true. All right, here's one of the quotes that I found that Harry had said. It says, "I wish that more people felt that photography was an adventure, the same as life itself, and felt that their individual feelings were worth expressing. To me, that makes photography more exciting." So, how does that hit you, Luke?
You can't disagree with that, you know what I'm saying? Um, every time you go out, every image you take, you know what I'm saying? It is an adventure. You know what I'm saying you're capturing a moment in time, to kind of stick with you the long term. It's just it if your images or your art or whatever it is you're doing that doesn't strike you and hit you in your own gut,
Yeah,
then maybe you should be doing something else, you know?
I agree. So again, that's a recap of Harry Callahan. And guys, I encourage you to go do a little bit more research on this guy. I mean, being from the Detroit area, the way he grew up, I mean, he taught classes, and he was like a well-rounded photographer. He liked doing stuff like this. All right, Luke. So here is your photographer spotlight. Give us an idea of why you chose this photographer.
So Suzanne Stein is a street photographer. She's bounced around to like Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area, New York, California. I said mostly all street photography. Her images just when I saw them, they sucked me in. They tell a
Yeah.
story. You can see the pain, the anguish, the frustration, just the normal everyday life that's taken toll on people. Um, she's not an aggressive street photographer. Bruce Gilden will get in your face and
Right.
just invade your space. Where she's laid back. She kind of asks and works her way into their lives to take pictures of him just to tell their story.
Right.
It's nice.
And it seems like, just from the images that you sent over for today's episode, I mean, it's every image as people are going to see it, it just speaks to you.
Yes.
So here's two of the images that we chose.
So just the image on the right. I mean, you can just see she has a knack for catching it in your eyes. Uh, you don't need to know that person's story to know they've been through a lot. You
Yes.
know, it shows the way she does her images. And on the right, I mean, I've seen that stuff in Savannah. We've all seen it in the big
Yeah.
cities. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that guy's got his life on his back.
This
You
is
know,
true. Yeah.
and in his hands. Um, those dogs probably eat better than he does, but it's the font in the back, that rent's too high. It's it's a good image to kind of show you, the harsh reality of life in a city.
It, like you said, it's almost photojournalism without the words. It's just you got it every time you sit and look at it, you see something new.
Yes.
So the one on the left, I mean, this has got to be just uh I mean, people are like this every day. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Yeah.
dress up. I mean, this is how
No.
people live, right?
No. 100%.
Your life.
And she captures real life. It's that's what I love about her images.
Yeah. This one here is probably one of my favorites. I think it's the depth of field though.
Yeah. The hand just disappears, but it's just a simple image. You know what I'm saying? But you can see that dirt, the grunge, the grime. You know what I'm saying? The homemade tattoos.
Yeah.
You can almost smell that cigarette and feel it.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the ash on there, like it's about to fall off too, and it's very, like I say, it's grungy, and
Yeah.
it's like I say, this is a working man's hand that just, I mean, I don't even know, you know what I'm saying? It looks cool, and I think it's because it's blowed up so big
Yeah.
that it just kind of catches your attention. This image here,
It's just again, it's the eyes. She just I can almost stare into that girl's eyes and tell a story for her.
yeah.
It just those eyes suck you in every single image.
I mean, it does. It almost tells the story of the child. Like, I don't, either the child's bored or had a long day, or this could even be, we were discussing, it could be an apple juice ad for Minute Maid.
Yeah.
It's just, there's a lot of stuff going on in the image, but you can tell the dad's there. We don't know if it's the dad. We're making our own story up.
Yeah.
It's just there to say, hey, it's okay. We'll be home in just a little bit. I know you're tired. You probably played all day. And that's the story I see,
Yeah.
as a parent. You see
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah. And everyone's story for this image would be different. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, it makes you feel, it makes you think.
This is true. And that's the sign of a good image, or a great image, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So here's two more.
Again, it's just street life. That guy has everything in his wheelchair there. You can
Yeah.
see, he's not beaten down, he's not broken. You know what I'm saying? But he's going after every day.
Yeah.
With his little radio, and he's just it's life. I want to say that that's a California picture.
Gotcha. Um, and there's not much you can say about this. It looks like one of those grates in the street
Yeah.
that the
Well,
sweeper brushes everything into. But it's
yeah.
almost like the cigarettes have been placed there perfectly. Some
Yeah.
at certain angles, and I think there's like a seashell or something in the middle there. I'm not sure what that is, but again, real life. It's not like somebody's going to come by and vacuum that out. I mean, it's just going to keep collecting stuff.
No, but that's the stuff that most people would just walk right by
Yeah,
and think, oh, that's garbage, it's trash. You know what I'm saying? She has that eye to kind of see it, like, that's something different.
yeah, that's true. These two here.
I feel that guy on the right because
Is that how you feel every day before you go to work? Look,
we've all been there.
yes, I
Just
agree.
a long hard day. You know what I'm saying? You get when you can. Um, But just the image on the left, just that dirty sink, that that the dirt alone probably tells decades of worth of stories.
Yeah.
All the stuff it's seen.
And it looks like it's still in use. That's
Yeah.
kind of like the sad part, but the good part is that this is where somebody probably comes home from a long day's work and washes their hands before they eat supper.
Yeah, or washing their dishes. Does I
Or
mean,
yeah,
heck, in New York, that could be their shower.
yeah. I mean,
It's
it
just
could. You're right. It could be worse. We don't know.
yeah.
But again, these images tell a story. All right, Luke. That is it for the slideshow. So, let us know in the comments who inspires you in your style of photography or videography and why. I mean, this is what we are here to do. We're here to get participation from you guys. Anybody that has watched this episode can tell that we're very passionate about what we do as photographers and videographers, and we just want to share that with everybody else. So, we welcome you guys to do anything that helps the show. Like Luke said, he always tells you participate, comment, subscribe. That way you can see what we're up to next, right, Luke?
Yeah. Plus, we get to see what you're doing, what you're up to.
Yeah, that's true. All right, guys. Well, that is it for our slideshow. Luke, kind of give us a recap of some of the things that you think the people out there watching this episode they can do to pick a photographer, or some of the things that you use to choose your photographer.
Well, it's finding somebody that kind of sparks that inner kind of moment, in your head, in your gut. Something that just kind of inspires you, something that motivates you, that moves you. You may not expect the person that does it to do it. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes just finding that nugget, that person that you never heard of before. You found them through 7 other photographers. Jumping through things. That's the best way to find somebody. Just like when you're out shooting. You know what I'm saying? You can go out shooting for one thing, but you find something else that you never expected to see.
I mean, that I like it. I like that theory, and also you could just type in photographer on Google or go to Instagram and just look up some just photography in general, and just find somebody that's creating stuff that like you say, that just catches your eye. So that's a really good point. So social media is a great outlet for finding inspiration, and I think it does help all of our viewers out there to know that, I mean, we're simple photographers right now. And there's things that we want to do. There's gadgets that we look at every day. And I think you found one that you kind of like, right? So
I do.
Give us a little bit of detail about that.
Now, today?
Okay, maybe we'll keep it a secret.
At least till we get it.
All right, so Luke has found a gadget that he is really obsessed with trying out. So stay tuned for some images using this said gadget that we're going to keep under wraps until maybe next episode or the episode after that. So just depending on how long it takes him to master this. So guys, or to get it, yeah, because I think it's on back order or something, right, Luke? It's in high demand. So if that gives you any idea of what he's said trying to purchase, but if not, like I say, stay tuned, and we'll definitely get you some of that feedback from that product as well. So Luke, what else you got for us today?
Yes. If you've watched the video all the way to the end, we appreciate it. Like always, click the subscribe and the bell.
That's it. All right, guys. Until next time, everybody out there, keep shooting. All right, Luke. So what has been going on in your life, and what are some of the things that you have on your mind right now?
Steak sauce.
What do you mean steak sauce?
Steak sauce. I literally drank it with dinner tonight with my mashed potatoes and steak. I want some now, to be honest.
Okay, so go get your steak sauce, grab a straw, and meet us back here in 5 minutes. Let's see how it goes. All right, Luke. So what has been going on in your life, and what are some of the things that you have on your mind right now?
Steak sauce.
What do you mean steak sauce?
Steak sauce. I literally drank it with dinner tonight with my mashed potatoes and steak. I want some now, to be honest.
Okay, so go get your steak sauce, grab a straw, and meet us back here in 5 minutes. So what kind of steak sauce was it? Dude, I love A1. I'm serious. I could drink it. I'm the only one in the house that can consume A1, and it's great because I get the whole bottle to myself.
Yeah.
All right. So
I totally get it. We use it for marinating, so we all eat it, but they just don't know they eat it. But yeah, I can drink
Worcestershire sauce. Okay, guys. Today's episode is brought to you by A1 steak sauce. All right, Luke. Thanks for letting us know about your steak sauce fetish. So, guys, after this, let's talk about the slideshow. You and your dad.